don't like this.
Here, yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we
I
just
mean,
stay
it's
right
kind of
here,
pretty.
right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Kind of nice. I dig it. I like it. Is it? That looks like it's gonna... Oh! That's kind of pretty. Welcome to the Stanley Parable. So this is... I'm not gonna do a huge intro, but this is a game that I have been wanting to play kind of for a long time since it first came out, and the Deluxe Edition actually came out on my console, which, you know, that's fantastic. But anyway, I don't want to do anything too big. Basically, this is like a little choose your own adventure game. It's so hard to describe, but I'm just gonna get into it, and I hope that, you know, you guys enjoy it. So let's just get to it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So, like, this is what I'm talking about with this game. So I can choose to stay here, and then different things will happen with the game, and this is why this game is fantastic. At least I think.
One eternity later.
Hey, I guess I'm wrong. So I walk out of the office. Try to open.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps Stanley.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay, so I think this is going to be an example. Who farted? So you couldn't find a trace. Wait, did I just turn that off? Okay. Like, I think it'll do something if I choose not to go to the meeting room.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
See, this is what I'm talking about. So, like, this dialogue wouldn't be happening if I wasn't sitting around here just touching everything. The narrator eventually gets, like, angry. This is fun. Okay, is he gonna get mad? Can I tick him off if I just stay in here and keep touching things? Or go back to my office. What happens if I go back to my office? I can't. Okay. Okay. So it's gonna force me into the meeting room. Can't read that. I want to be able to read that. Boom. Okay. Just gonna keep touching things. We're gonna see what happens. Be my Valentine. Oh, won't you be mine? Narrator? Employee 420. Can I, like, really... I'm really wanting this office. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Why would I ever want to do that? Everything sounds like a key. That's really funny. Even, like, the doors sounds kind of like a key. What does that say? Sales in this quarter. This does not make sense. Whatever that means. I don't know. I don't do sales.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, I can play this game by going to the left, and that's like that's the path it wants me to take. So instead, to give an example, I'm going to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I do want to stop by the employee lounge. This is... I mean, like, this would be scary, though. Like, you have to admit, like, if you actually came to your office and it was empty like this, it'd be scary. So, here's the employee lounge.
Ah, yes. Truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I love the narrator.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
It is worth it. I love it. I want a cold drink. Come on, give me a cold drink. See, but this is great.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Dude, why'd you have to roast me like that? No, I'm staying. I'm staying. You can't convince me.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
I think the game's trying to send me a message. It maybe move on. It maybe move on. No, I don't want to. Okay, I'll go. I'll go.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
No. So he's telling me to go to the door on the left. It's like, oh yeah, we can go that way and get back to business. But, no.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah. Yes, it is. So yeah, the narrator just, like, apparently just loves to roast me, but maybe I should follow some directions at some point. You know, I mean, like, he's trying to give me instructions. Or, like, it's... Okay. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse. You already know. Say less, fam. Say less.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
I just want to see what happens.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Wait.
Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Give you a chance.
Give me a chance.
Okay. Alright, okay. I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance to prove that you're on my side. What chance do you need? What do you need? What do you need me to do, narrator? This is what I'm curious about. This is my life. My nose is kind of big, isn't it? Alright. You want to convince me that you're a good guy, Mr. Narrator, so convince me. Right now, all you're doing is locking me out.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, I don't want to do a playthrough where I do nothing that he says yet. Maybe we'll get to that in a little bit. So I'm going to go through the red door. I'm doing it.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
Oh no, I'm trapped.
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay. Door of Doom. What happened?
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Don't like this.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just
it's
stay
kind of
right
pretty.
here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Kind of nice. I dig it. I like it. Is it? That looks like it's gonna... Oh! That's kind of pretty.
Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Kind of nice. I dig it. I like it. Is it? That looks like it's gonna... Oh! That's kind of pretty. I like it. All the little sprites? It's very pretty. Am I gonna get raptured? Is that what's gonna happen right now? Like, all of a sudden I'm just gonna float up into the air and die? As a... Like, it is kind of pretty. Like, the little sprites that they have here. It's nice. It's good colors. And they move with the camera. Okay. Alright, okay. So is this it? Did I win? I think I won. I feel like it wants me to stay here. And that something will happen if I stay here. I don't know. I am but a humble gamer. Okay, so I can jump. I wonder if I could jump off the edge. Nope, I can't. Okay. How long does this go on? This can't keep going, can it? Is this trying to see how long I'll stay here? Is it just gonna keep going through different colors? I can't take much more of this, narrator. I can't take it anymore.
No, wait. Where are you going?
I have to go. I have to move on.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
What? I'm trapped.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. Oh, thank God.
Wait, what? Hold on.
You have me worried. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
We already know, don't we? There's no way I'm going back.
My God, is this really how much you dislike
Aw,
my game?
don't say that!
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
I mean, now I feel kind of bad.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I can't do it to him. I can't do it. I can do it. I can. The game will reset and we'll just restart. You know, it'll be okay. It'll be okay, narrator. Dude, it like makes you walk slower. I'm sorry, narrator.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
So that's basically the whole premise of this game, is it's just making a choice on where you go. And you get different endings as a result. So I think it's like, I think it's a real hoot. I love it. This is like just totally my kind of game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, we're gonna go through here. And we're gonna get to the same spot.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, you know, after hurting the narrator's feelings like that, I think I have to listen to him. Like, I have to, right?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Fire the paper guy, hire someone to fire the paper guy. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Tomorrow, complete, unfinished. Jim. Oh my, is that an Office reference? Employee 417491, and then Jim. That has to be an Office reference, right? Rate this chart on the same slide, depict the same information. Wait, what? Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please, no more charts. Please, I'm begging. Stop, stop, stop. The boss appreciation minute. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out the triplicate. Resolving interpersonal conflict. If you find yourself in a conflict with another employee, like another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined towards conflict. God dang it. I can't read fast, apparently. What are your dreams for the future? A boat, spring break, hope? I feel that one way too much. I feel hope way. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively. Resent coworker for not supporting you more. Oh, this is great. This is just office life. A broom closet. What?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
But there's a wrench here. I want the wrench.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Don't lie to me, narrator. Don't lie to me. I know your game.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Doing sweet. For those of you who don't know, that means...
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
I want the wrench. I want this game to turn into BioShock.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, Did you get
broom
the broom
closet
closet
ending?
ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite.
Yeah.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
I want the broom closet ending.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Jesus!
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also,
Drug
Stanley's
money?
addicted to drugs and hookers.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
I love
Got to this
this.
broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby?
Love this.
The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
My hair is ridiculous
All
right now.
When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
But I want the broom closet ending. Fine.
Ah, second player. It's good to... You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Nope. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Okay, we're just gonna go
office.
to the boss's office. But that's fun. Like, I love this. This is actually amazing. Yo. Yo, sweet digs. Like... Yo! Homie's got a nice toilet. Got its own wallpaper and everything. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Okay. Extreme bathrooms. So that was a little Easter egg. What the hell? Business strategy is literally just shoot. Capitalism. Oh. Okay, we're not gonna go down just yet.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay, I thought maybe it would do something.
Stanley just sat around, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
It's just fantastic. All right. So I guess my boss was Batman. Okay, when did this turn into a horror game? I can't see anything. I guess it's telling me that I just need to go down? Oh. Oh! Wow. I didn't even... Okay. Alright, we're good. Oh. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright. Slouch too much. I need to get a standing desk.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. Shit! Sorry, this is a family-friendly
Stanley
channel.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There's literally an escape door. Okay, no, we said we were gonna do what he says this time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay.
Now the monitors
Fired.
jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427, where's mine? Right there. Yep, that's my office. Okay. I mean, like, it's just such a cool experience. Oh, that one's messed up. Why is that one messed up?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Feel it, bro. Preach.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
Inconceivable.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Oh, maybe it's up there. So, like, it's just such a fun experience, this game. Like, okay, I walked into that. Like, I guess it's probably telling me I need to get to the power first. I mean, like, it literally, there's a big shining light, big glowing light that says, hey, over here. But there's a button that says 5. Okay, alright, I don't know.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Shut it down. Why'd it get so quiet?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
I win.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
No. The end is never the end. It's so funny. It reminds me so much like of Portal, like the dialogue and stuff in Portal and whatnot. Like that's truly what I enjoy about it. Started me back over. It just started me over. I didn't have to start, which means
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I bet there's a way to turn off all the monitors.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I didn't. That didn't set well with me. Okay, so I want to take the path of least resistance and go to the
When
office
Stanley
again
came to a set of
because there was
two
that
open
elevator
doors,
that was
he
at the
entered
top.
the door on his left.
We're gonna bum rush that area and figure out what's going on there.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Like, there's
office.
so many different little choices to make. So, like, right here, I could go to the boss's office, but instead, I'm gonna go over here to the sad little business strategy that really, that is a tragic painting. I'll say it again, capitalism. Wait, there's an up and a down here? Holy, there's so many choices to make. Go up. All right. It says Stanley. Stanley. How long is this gonna last? Okay, this elevator is going... Oh, if I click it again... Wait, what? If I go down... Like, it's a vibe. Do both elevators lead me here? If both elevators keep me going back to the same place, we're gonna have some problems. Okay, we're having some problems. I am the most expensive boss. Okay. Nothing there. Oh, I can't go back now? No! No! Okay, what if I don't go to the pad?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
See what happens.
2845.
No! The code is so very obviously 3698. Or is it 8547?
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself.
Oh.
And Stanley got the hell along with the story.
That's good.
Well, whoop-de-doo.
That's good. I like it. Or do I go back and just go... Nope. Okay. Hidden buttons. Alright, we gotta continue then. Okay, so this is gonna be yet another... Alright, we're going back down. I think all the really fun stuff is when you start defying the narrator, and I do want to do that, but I think that's gonna end up being in another video. I actually want to play this with Lauren, too, watching, so I think that could be a lot of fun. I think her commentary on it would be lovely to hear.
Stanley walked straight
going to
ahead
the left.
through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, he didn't.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Lies. Lies. I don't believe you.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Lies, buddy. I don't believe you.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
So you say. Why would this be my death? Why? See, it wasn't my death. Oh my god, what the hell?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and
Oh,
closer
no.
to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no
No.
consequence whatsoever.
No.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture.
No.
He doesn't know the real story.
Yeah, no.
Trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this
I'll
is.
go back up. I'll go
Perhaps
back up,
his
dude.
death was of no
I don't want to
loss,
die here.
like plucking
I don't
the
want to die here.
eyeballs from a blind
No,
man.
I don't.
And so he resigned
no,
and willingly
no.
accepted this violent
No,
end to
no,
his
he didn't.
brief and shallow life.
No, he
Farewell,
didn't.
Stanley.
No. No. Stanley didn't. No, Stanley didn't. No, Stanley did. I didn't. I didn't.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
No. Wait, what? Why did the narrator change?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I was led into a trap.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
No. No, I'm very much alive. I am alive here. You can't convince me otherwise. The office layout? The two doors. And that's where the game actually starts, is that the two doors right there. Pacing of the opening section was important to get right. The corridor had been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in good time. Dude, this is so cool! The nature paintings, so this is like all the paintings that you see. Doors 1, 2, 3, and 4. The button sounds. A selection of the sounds used through the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard strokes and synth. I was right! I said even the I was like, even the doors sounds like a keyboard stroke. What? Okay, I'm all for the Daft Punk remix, but wait a sec, the boss's office. That I would have liked that one better. That would have been more menacing. Reminds me of like The Incredibles. You remember the boss in The Incredibles being the way he was? The office clock, okay. With the menacing ticking. This is all the assets, like, okay, so all the cubicles, 427. So, oh, these are all Stanley's office. The narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we initially planned to use those for promotional material, we never found the perfect use for them, so here's a section of those emails. From the final warning, there is a skeleton inside you. There are more skeletons in the world than humans. Thanks and goodbye. Subject. A question brought forth by the intense passion of my soul. Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? I don't know. That's... Okay, so those are cool. Is this... Wait, what the hell? Money? Okay, that's weird. Warzone? What? Where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens, the action game would become sentient, and we would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game, plus some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. No, oh my god, people took that as that. Come on. it is a smart game. I do want to say that. Like, it's a smart game. It's very well done in that sense, like, of making you feel like you don't know what's gonna happen next. You're sitting here and you're like, oh man, like I don't know if the game is
Intuitively, if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
narrator outtakes.
Stanley pushed the orange lever. Stanley pushed the
That's-
number 6. Nothing there.
I like it. Here we go.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I love it. I love it. You switch.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Sometimes they cannot. Oh, wait,
Listen
what?
to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Wait, what?
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Wait. God, what would have happened if I actually did? If I turned it off? I'm gonna have to. Oh my god! I want to see what happens with that. I want to try to actually turn it off, but then I'm gonna lose all of. Then I lose my recording stuff. I'm gonna have to try that and try recording it at some point. Bro, this is
All of his
so
coworkers
good.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is so good. It really is good.
When Stanley came to a set of 2
All right,
open
we're gonna keep
doors,
going.
he entered the door on his left.
All right. Okay, so this time we're going down the stairs.
Yet there was not a single person here
Nope,
either.
all the workers are gone.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, he didn't. Okay, this is foreboding.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
I mean,
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical
wait.
sense.
Am I walking in?
And as Stanley pondered this,
B12.
he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah. Okay.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he
Why am I-
went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
This is all a dream.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, I'm actually floating.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Bro!
And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and
Yeah.
thinking?
the real
Now
questions.
the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he
Okay,
thought.
you can stop.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
This is the most meta ending.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove
This is an existential crisis.
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
This is a
Please,
huge
just
existential
someone tell
crisis.
me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Like,
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
what?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
Man.
I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ran? Yo, poor Stanley. Okay, so this is a hoot. Okay, so
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
All right.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So we're gonna follow and then go into the other room, and I want to make the different.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
at the
left.
escape room. There was a choice where you could keep going forward, and there was more stuff like turning the power on of the mind control device.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That sound was a little off. The beige pages? Ah, that's funny. Like the yellow pages. I get it. Business time.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul.
It's different every
anywhere.
time.
Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future?
Why is the...
Alas,
I don't
it was
remember
not.
this
For
weather
although
here
this
before.
keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845.
I don't remember this.
Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This is so well done. I love this. Okay, so there are so many endings to this, and I love it. Like, I know it's just like a small sequence of events every time, but you kind of got to admit it is so well done. Like the one with where it tells you to turn off the game, I'm wondering if that's actually an ending. Like, I wonder if I can literally just close the game and then it'll like, and then come back in, open the application, and it'll like resume it and we'll win. I'm kind of curious to see if that's a thing. But first we're gonna go through the mind control facility. Oh my god.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you want?
Maybe.
Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
No.
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Okay.
Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
A bomb!
What precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
So...
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
142 maybe?
A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
5.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Okay, so I saw... That's 4 up there, that's 5.
This version of events
that's
has
3.
been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich.
Bro.
I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
This is...
But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
5.
These are precious
I only see
additional
5,
seconds.
3,
Time doesn't grow on
and
trees.
4. I only see 5, 3,
Oh,
and
dear
4.
me, what's the matter, Stanley?
Right,
Is
1,
it that
2.
you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Oh,
I mean, look at
come
you.
on.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
Bruh.
That this video game can be beaten? Won, sold?
Come on.
Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No?
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene.
I have
because
one
wanna watch
attempt
you for every
remaining.
moment that you're powerless. To see you
Oh, no.
made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted
No.
to control this world, that's fine.
No.
But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
No. No, you're supposed to let me live.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds.
Yeah,
you
it
have
is.
left
There-
to struggle.
oh,
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your friend? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part
No!
of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life. from
Oh
the
my God,
moment
it's
we
shaking
fade in
so hard.
Until the moment I say, happily ever after.
That is such a good ending. Oh, God. Okay. So I think that's a really good dive into the Stanley Parable for the first time. It is really fun. It's just a fun concept of a game, and I really wanted to play it because I remember when I was, watching people like Markiplier or whatnot, they ended up playing this. And I've always wanted to play it, but I didn't have a PC at the time, and I couldn't get it. So it is what it is. But this has been so much fun. I love the game. I think it's a really good social commentary, a little bit, and I think it's very meta, and it knows exactly what it wants to be. So I want to play this with Lauren as well and get some footage of that. But in the meantime, I'm going to edit this out. I'm going to get it out there to you guys, and you know what? Stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, you know what I'm going to say? Stay crazy, creatures. Take care.